Hi, hello friend, welcome to a channel. Yeah, so 2 people so far today have sent me this and I wasn't gonna talk about it at first and then I was like, this is probably important to talk about. Now, what I will say before I get started is that I am not saying that this is completely true because I have not tested it for myself and the information I have here, there's no like proof of it, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that's 100% true. And I'm not applying this to all paparazzi jewelry also. Just know that this has been reported. Take it with a grain of salt. Also, can I give a quick shout out to the MLM Boss Babe on Instagram? They sent me a message today of a screenshot that they took where they searched paparazzi accessories on YouTube and my paparazzi video pops up above paparazzi's actual YouTube channel. So we are making waves, babes. I love it. I just really made my day. So give a follow to the MLM Boss Babe. They're really on top of their shit and thanks for pointing that out to me. I think that is super cool. And one last thing, the reason I'm always talking about paparazzi so much is because the paparazzi Huns are some of the most relentless, full of shit people that I have ever had to deal with. And I don't really deal with them anymore. I just read their hate comments and laugh. The more they talk shit, the more I want to continue to report on paparazzi. Little tiny things happen in every MLM, like every day. But you know, I am more inclined to talk about paparazzi because they hate it when I do, and quite honestly, I think it's funny to get a rise out of these people. So if you are a paparazzi Hun here watching this video, one thing I have to point out to you is that every time you leave a hate comment or, you know, a comment in general, every time you share one of my videos to talk shit about on Facebook or something, every time you do that, the engagement on my videos go up. And you know what that means? That means that YouTube recommends it to more people. So while you may be sitting there wondering why is her video above paparazzi on YouTube, that's because of y'all's hate comments and the engagement is through the roof. That YouTube recommends my shit over your actual company. So I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you for making YouTube recommend my video to more people so that they can see the truth. That's what it's doing, Hun. And also there's a lot of y'all not giving an income disclosure statement in that comment section when you know you're supposed to. All right, so anyway, sorry for the long introduction. There's just a lot I have to say, especially when we're talking about paparazzi. But someone named Tamara Rubin, who runs a blog called Lead Safe Mama, just posted as of yesterday, so on January 7th, she posted this blog post titled, "Paparazzi Stone Ring Lead-Free and Nickel-Free as Advertised, ... But 265,300 parts per million cadmium. Cadmium causes cancer." I obviously go into everything skeptically, not just, I mean, you sent me something that's like, oh, this MLM did this. And as much as like I want to believe things right off the bat when they're negatively impacting MLMs, I have to do my research first before I say anything about it. And now obviously I haven't had days and days and days to research this. This just came out yesterday. I heard about it this morning. This is just like kind of my first instinct here to be like, well, who is this Tamara chick and what does she know about product safety and poisonous substances, and who is this chick? So if you scroll down the very first paragraph here on the article, she's just an independent advocate for consumers' good safety, and she's also a mother of children who have been affected by lead poisoning. So that is why she's running this blog. If you go and look at her blog posts, it's not all her trashing MLMs, although the top posts right now are these ones I'm talking about, and also Tupperware. There you go. Let's just stop using MLM stuff, please. Anyway, so she uses an XRF testing method to test consumer goods for toxicants. So she has this special tool that she just has a blog where she tests things and says, this is safe, this is not safe. I'm going to post the readings on the screen here because I don't necessarily know exactly what this means. If ppm means parts per million and you have something that says 265,300 plus or minus 1,800 parts per million, I would assume that plus or minus is just kind of like fluctuation, I guess. Like it may or may not, but there is definitely around that amount. And if it's 265,300 parts per million, wouldn't that mean that that's about 26% cadmium? Right? I mean, that's just basic math skills, if I'm correct. This all could mean something totally different. I don't know anything about XRF machines and stuff, but this is just my basic understanding of the symbols and abbreviations I'm looking at here. Someone in the comments will probably tell me I'm wrong, and if I am, let me know. Seriously, don't just sit here and tell me I'm right when I'm wrong. So it looks like the metal that's surrounding the stone itself is the one that has a bunch of cadmium in it. The band that goes around your finger also has a lot of it. The stone also has some cadmium in it. High amounts of copper. Generally a safe stuff, but there is nickel in the band, and don't they advertise that it's lead and nickel free? I don't know, but I mean, it's only 33 plus or minus 19 parts per million, so it's very insignificant, but still, we're focusing here on the cadmium content because according to this blog, cadmium causes cancer. It's been studied and proven to be a known carcinogen. This is kind of untrodden territory for me, so I did a quick, simple Google search. There are lots of reports that say that cadmium does in fact cause cancer, and in 2010, they actually did a study that turned into a recall of many retail stores, including Claire's, Limited 2, Justice, which all three of those in particular are for children. And we know, you know, you can get a lot of cheap jewelry from those places, but yeah, so they had to do a whole recall of a lot of their jewelry inventory in 2010 because it was found to be traced with cadmium. And there are also limits, like, actually, I think I was reading it, I don't know, is it? Oh, yeah. Starting this month, so I guess as of January 1st of 2020, there are limits in the state of California now of how much cadmium can be found in jewelry. The state of Washington allegedly legally limits cadmium at or below 40 parts per million, which is a pretty insignificant amount. Well, okay, so 40 parts per million is legal in the state of Washington. One piece of paparazzi jewelry contains 265,300 parts per million, which is a lot higher than the legal limit. I don't know if this is for things that are produced in these states or sold in these states. I'm not really positive. But yeah, that seems like a lot of cadmium to throw into metal when we know that it causes cancer. And why exactly is this happening? Well, I mean, the truth is, if they're gonna advertise that they're lead and nickel free and they're going to sell that jewelry for $5, they need to find an alternative that is cheap enough to be able to do that. And that is exactly what cadmium is doing here. Cadmium is supposedly a very cheap alternative to these things. Tamara says that she's sharing the information with the Consumer Product Safety Commission to see if they can take action against paparazzi, which is amazing. We all knew that something was sketchy here, right? We all knew that you can't make $5 jewelry out of like respectable stuff, I guess, I don't know, and not do lead and nickel. I just, depending on what they're coated with, you know, if it's sterling silver or something, that stuff wears off. If it's coated with that and then it comes off, you're like directly putting that on your finger. And you may be thinking to yourself, maybe it's just more toxic to children than it is to adults. And what I'll say to that is, if you've ever had a child, you know that they are messers. You have to lock your shit up, but sometimes they will find a way to mess with things that you don't want them to. It sucks, and it is a harsh reality of parenthood, but you cannot keep your kids out of everything. I don't care if you're fucking super mom, you just can't do it. Sometimes you might, you know, have to wash the dishes and take your ring off or whatever and place it on the counter and look away for 1 second, your kid's gonna reach up and take, like, it can be any little tiny situation. Not parent shaming here at all, because I, for one, have had my daughter destroy half of my eyeshadow collection before, so even though it was tucked away in a drawer, depending on the age of the child, they put that ring in their mouth or necklace or whatever they find. They'll put literally anything in their mouth. This is dangerous. And we also know, not just paparazzi, but MLM companies in general like to prey on mothers because it's like, hey, don't you want to stay home with your kid? Don't you want to make money from home so you can have more time with your child while they're growing? The amount of mothers that I'm sure are in paparazzi, and I don't have a statistic for that, but I guarantee it's a high percentage. It's dangerous. It is so dangerous. Anyway, then I went on her website, like on her front page, and she had another article, which I haven't even read yet, but I'm gonna just like read it with you. It's probably a lot of the same thing, but basically she tested paparazzi earrings and they ended up being positive for antimony and arsenic apparently. but more importantly, antimony, which causes cancer in rats. So she's posted pictures of this jewelry here, and it looks like the dangling component is mostly copper, but 2,985 parts per million. That is a smaller amount than the cadmium we were talking about, but it's the third highest ingredient on there. The main metal backing of the earring, so the actual part that goes into your ear, seems to be pretty safe. Zinc, copper, and silver. And then this stone supposedly has arsenic. Now it's mostly zinc and copper, but I will say, according to this, there's more arsenic in here than chromium and bismuth. Arsenic is scary, right? Probably pretty insignificant, but regardless. She says, you know, there's no cadmium in here, but there are other toxic heavy metals, being antimony and arsenic. Now she does mention here that there haven't been enough human impact studies to say that antimony causes cancer in humans, but there's been enough to say that it can cause cancer in rats. And again, it's like the same thing, you know, as much as it would be pretty irresponsible to leave earrings out for a child to shove in their mouth and play with. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before in that one unfortunate instance where, you know, an infant or even a toddler finds something pretty and shiny and sticks it in their mouth. Oh no, there's arsenic in it. But anyway, those are the two I just really wanted to talk about, just to make everybody aware here. This chick tests things from sledgehammers to pulleys on a drawer. I mean, she tests literally everything. This is not an anti-MLM blog in the least. She has no reason to be sitting here and lying about it. But again, I reiterate, you know, this may or may not be completely true. We'd have to like wait and find more sources to see how true this is. But, you know, I hope she does bring this up with, you know, what would it be, like the FTC, maybe like the CDC, maybe? I don't know. Whoever takes care of poisonous toxic metals and consumer goods, hopefully, you know, they look into this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they test more of Paparazzi's jewelry and find similar findings, similar results. Because how can you make $5 jewelry without lead and nickel and still be able to keep that value? You know, I mean, I don't know what anyone expected, you know? I think we all expected, well, because I've gotten a lot of comments that say like, no, they definitely have lead and nickel in them because my finger turned green after wearing it. And it's like, well, okay, maybe. I think that was the suspect, that we were just kind of like, oh, there has to be lead in there, it has to be mismarketed. I think this might be our answer here. They found another cheap metal, you know, and people have said that it's made in China. I don't know how true that is, but I'm sure you could get away with a lot more by making stuff in China. The jewelry and accessories are produced in facilities in China. Obviously, they're putting the labor out there because it's cheaper. I don't know. I just feel like this is pretty concerning, and I would like to see something come from this. We could all be freaking out over nothing. Like, there are probably like scientific things that say, oh, well, it would take this much to hurt a human, or it would take, you know, but the fact remains that there's probably way too much concentration of cadmium in this jewelry, and it could affect the safety of our children. So there we go. There's that for you. I will say, for those of you who are still here, I did start my hun baiting Instagram, and I'm not gonna post it on YouTube just because I basically just posted it on my Instagram story for one day. Everyone who saw it went and followed it. For now, I'm gonna keep the little group that I have, because I don't want it to be like too super weird. Like, why does this girl have so many followers? Like right now I have like around 100, and I think that's perfect. Those of you who did follow it when I posted it, thank you so much. Your engagement has been great. If you are on that Instagram page and you see a post of mine, let's have some fun, dude. I've been trying to kind of like role play a little bit with some of you guys, so, you know, maybe I need to brush up on my trolling skills. I don't know. I'm having fun with it already, and it seems like some of you guys are too, so thank you for being there. I'm really excited to get started on hun baiting. And I do encourage you guys to do the same. I think it would be really cool if we can just start a whole like hun baiting movement, so that it gets to the point where anyone that a hun is talking to, they're like immediately suspicious of, because like, oh, you know, there's a lot of hun baiting going on right now. They're trying to waste our time and da da da. Like, I really would love it to get to that point where people are afraid to cold message someone. You know what I mean? I think that's goals right there. So anyway, thank you for being there for that. Thank you for watching this video. If you're still here and you're a paparazzi hun or a hun in general, hey, what's up? Thanks for your view time. You know, watch time also plays into the algorithm very well. So if you are already here, YouTube is probably gonna pick up on that. So thanks for the hate comments. Thanks for your watch time. Thanks for the ad revenue. You're the best, hun. I just love it. I just love it. Hi, cat. So I'll see you Monday. Oh my God, I upload on Monday. See you Monday, bye.